So I have the man, the myth, the legend,
Oh,
Barney Greenway.
Oh, stop.
How are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah. It's crowded. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah. To be honest, I'm not that long arrived, so just sort of getting me bearings. I say that having been here 3 times, and it's exactly the same setup, so I shouldn't be lost. But I do get lost very easily. So.
What's been going on? There's been rumours of a new album.
It's been worked on at the moment, slowly but surely. So we are a fair way into proceedings, but there's still quite a bit to go. So yeah, we'll get there in the end.
Okay. Are you going to kind of take a similar approach to what you did with Apex Predator?
Similar, but Napalm through the ages has always moved some steps with every album. It will definitely be Napalm Death. It will be horrible, almost excruciating, and quite offensive sonically. Lyrically, it'll be hippy dippy bullshit. But no, it will be the usual very wide palette of influences, and we'll take it from there, and hopefully it sticks, with people. So
Well, I think Apex did.
yeah, I mean, it's I know it was weird because you always, before every album, while you're doing it, you're always like, you do go over it in your mind. I wonder if this is any good, or whether people will like it. And Apex completely exceeded our expectations. We just didn't figure that the reaction would be so amazing. So yeah.
Are you working with Russ Russell as well?
Russ again, yeah.
What's the reason that you always return back to?
Well, because Russ, in the same way that we are moving on as a band, constantly evolving, Russ also understands the need to evolve the production, So when I say evolve, we're going more and more organic with every release, So once you get somebody that you trust and understands the need not just to carbon copy what you've done before, or equally as importantly what other bands are doing, then why change,
Okay. So is he kind of almost like another member of
I guess so. And people use that term quite a lot, but yeah, in terms of
scenes.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Is it? I've always been curious. When the album's coming together, is it? Is he quite a hands-on producer, or is he? Kind of like do that? Or
he's not a rewrite producer because he trusts us to know what we're doing. But yeah, he definitely suggests different feel in parts in the tracks. He definitely might rearrange something vocally,
okay,
or guitar wise or whatever. So yeah, but generally he's quite happy for us to let us do our thing.
So I've been meaning to ask, what was it like teaching Ed Millerman how to sing?
Oh yeah, that thing.
Once more with feeling. You do it once more, and then I'm going to do it. You're right. You're right.
No, more throats. Definitely more throats. Well, here's the thing. At first, when they asked me to do it, I was like, you know what, guys? Do you know how many fucking times I've been asked to do this? Is it not a cliche? Is it not? But they were like, begged me to do it. Oh, come on, we really want to do it. I was like, oh, you know what? Okay, But you know what? And I just thought yawn, But when we did it, obviously it was. I'm not on social media, but I was showed the video of it on social media. I was like, you know what? It's so awkward that it's actually quite funny. It is actually really funny. And here's the thing: Ed Miliband was really clued in on Napalm Death. He actually likes the band, Yeah. So, and so that was I was quite blown away by that, And being a trade unionist, I actually voted for him in one of the trade union elections, so I did tell him that, and he was quite embarrassed, So, yeah.
Oh, that's great. So, have you kind of got anything lyrically that you're going to go off for the new album, or?
Yeah, I mean we are. Yeah, there is kind of a concept, like loosely speaking,
Is it going to be sort of maybe based around Brexit or anything like that, or is it wider?
There is nothing to do. There's nothing. See, here's the thing. Napalm gets called a political band. I get that kind of, but it's also an apolitical band in the terms that it recognises that politics is not always a means to an end of achieving humanity. Politics can actually have the opposite effect, you know. So that's a contradiction, you know, because for me personally, you know, I was always a person from the left. That's how I grew up. I'd say a lot of my opinions are. But another part of me is completely apolitical. In other words, I see how politics is fucking stupid and how it gets in the way of actually achieving equality and making it so some human beings in some part of the world aren't suffering like immeasurably whilst everybody else over here is relatively doing quite nicely. You know, I see the two different angles, you know. So at the end of the day, you have to understand that while some people might be really sort of dismissive of contradiction's a very necessary part of life, and it actually helps you to see from different perspectives. You know. How about that for philosophical?
Do you feel that that's kind of trickled into Napalm Death? You know, because you mentioned the hippy dippy sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But with it's a really abrasive noise.
Yeah. That Napalm Death, musically and lyrically, is a complete contradiction. It's the most violent assault you could get musically. On the lyrical side of things, it is anything but. It is one of the key points is recognising that violence does not solve anything in any situation. I'll go out on a limb and say that. It is. It does. Violence does not solve anything. It just perpetuates a cycle of violence. It does, you know.
What made that your kind of, you know, your thing that you wanted to talk about?
Because I'm a human being. It's very simply that. You know, I recognise what being a human being actually means, you know.
Thank you ever so much for having a chat.
No worries, fella. Thank you. Cheers. Yeah.